私の卵を食べないでください。はい、いいですね。はい、私の犬と猫を食べないで。ノーコメント。写真を撮らないでください。はい、いいですね。その歌を歌わないでください。タバコを吸わないでください。はい。話さないでください。はい。いいですね。皆さんわかりますね。
はい。
はい。じゃあ練習しましょう。202ページを見ましょう。これは質問と答えですね。あ、ザックさんも来ました。じゃあ、サムさん、パート A とビーズさん、パート B。エクザンプルを読んでください。
窓を開けてもいいですか？
すみません。開けないでください。寒いですか？寒いですか？
あるいは or
いいですよ。どうぞ。
はい。じゃあ皆さんわかりますか？
うん。
しないでください。and a reason or いいですよ、どうぞ。じゃあビーズさんとジョーさん、1番お願いします。
タバコを吸ってもいいですか？
すみません。タバコを吸わないでください。
はい。理由は some kind of a reason? 大嫌いですから。
I hate smoking.
はい、いいですよ。はい、じゃあ2番、ジョーさんとザックさん、お願いします。
テレビをつけてもいいですか？
いいですよ。どうぞ。
はい、じゃあザックさんと3番、タシさんに聞いて。
写真を撮ってもいいですか？
いいですよ。どうぞ。じゃあ4番、どうぞ。
天気を切ってもいいですか？
電気を
消して。
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 はい、消して。
すみません。電気を消さないでくですね。
はい、消さないでください。はい。And then the reason why? 消さないでください。What might you be doing that you need the light to stay on?
What if you're afraid of the dark?
We'll let her do her example first before I answer.
All right.
読む？
読んでいる、読んでいますから
本を読んですから。
読んでいますから読んでいますています form here, okay, so 読んでいますから because if you're saying don't turn off the light it's because of something current probably, right? So この読んでいますから I'm reading a book as we speak. That's why I don't want you to turn the light out on me.
Is that
Make sense?
Ima? Because like
Yeah,
use
in
your
that case, you don't
baby.
necessarily have to say imo because it's fairly obvious. If you're sitting there with a book in your hand and you're saying, denki o kesanaide kudasai, hono yonde imasu kara, it's pretty obvious that you mean right now.
Because you wouldn't tell them to turn the lights off if you've been reading the book. Like,
Right, I mean, yeah. In the context of like, I've been reading this book for the past week,
So don't turn
it does, so don't turn the light off, it doesn't make any sense there, right?
I've been
But in
saying
the
that.
context of, I'm sitting here with a book in my hand, hono yonde imasu kara,
Okay.
then it's clearly meant now. So you don't have to say ima in that case. That's the thing about Japanese, if it's
So much
clear
context.
and obvious which one you mean, you don't have to put in every little detail.
Okay.
Right, yeah. And if you wanted to say, I'm scared of the dark, kawaii desu kara, for now, because we haven't learned how to say the dark part, but
All
kawaii
right.
desu kara, I'm scared. Or it's scary, one or the other, so. Denki o kesanaide kudasai, kawaii desu kara. That would work.
Scary.
はい。じゃあ、アンバーさん、5番お願いします。
パ
パソ、
パソコンをつけ
使う、
使う
そう、使って、使う is in the 映る category, so 使う、small つって、使って、
使ってもいいですか？
いいえ、たけしさんはパソコンを使っていますですかね。
Okay,
Someone
so,
else is using the computer.
okay, so いいえ、or すみません、使わないでください。
使わないでください。
And then your reason would be たけしさんは
Okay, so I did
使っていますから。Okay, so what they wanted you to do was the すみません、使わないでください first. And then たけしさんは使っていますから。
Two sentences.
Yeah, two separate.
Choose a separate sentence. Okay.
Alright.
はい。
So is it more natural to say, like, even though it's more of a you can't use it because he is now, you still
Yeah.
say please don't?
Yeah.
That's just more natural?
Well, it's more polite.
Okay.
Yeah, 使わないでください。たけしさんは使っていますから。
Okay.
I mean, there's probably another way you could put that that would be equally fine, but this is what we're learning. This is what we're
Yeah,
practicing
I was
here.
just curious if that's like
Yeah.
how it's normally said,
使わないでください。使っていますから。
or would you use like a native?
There's
form?
probably other ways to say it, but I'm drawing a blank right now.
That's fine. That's fine. Just curious.
じゃあ、栗山さん、 6番。
I use Tom.
Okay.
Tom さんに電話してください。電話してください。
Well, you're asking for permission. してもいいですか? You're doing part A of the example.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, so Tom さんは電話いいですか？
トムさんに
Tom さんに
電話してもいいですか?
してもいいですか？
Yeah, so you're asking, Tom, may I call you? Or is it okay if I call Tom? One or the other.
I didn't look. I wasn't thinking.
Yeah, so トムさんに電話してもいいですか? So
トモさんは
トムさんですか?
いいですよ。どうぞ。
じゃあ7番どうぞ。
うん私の、猫は太ってもいいですか?
え?
Is my cat fat?
Can my cat put on weight?
Oh.
Is that alright?
You're asking permission for that?
I
That's
think
a
he
little
wants
bit
to.
weird in any language.
いいですよ。どうぞ。
Maybe he's trying to make a Garfield stunt double.
Okay, but here again, this request, is it okay if I do X and then the other person replying? That's a good possibility for an OPI question. I could give you a cue or a prompt like, ask for permission to do something, and you come up with your own thing of what you want to ask permission for, preferably something that's a little bit more normal than whether or not it's okay to let your cat get fat. Because I want the other person to understand what the heck you're saying and be able to reply intelligibly. So, but yeah, that's something that I'm thinking of as one of the OPI content questions.
You had another one the
Yeah.
other day, do you remember what that was? I've long since lost it in my notes. Anybody remember?
Yeah, hold on, I'm going to tell you in a second.
I'll find it today after. Unless one was
Look for this. I'm actually starting to get overwhelmed with all this vocabulary. I'm starting to forget things.
Yeah, I know, me
I
too.
still forgot how to
I have to
forget.
keep looking words up.
Okay, the other OPI question that I was talking about was,
What was that?
let's see. Let me see if it's in my notes, because I think it was probably something along the lines of section 4, asking somebody a question and then reporting back to me what they told you, kind of thing.
That was it.
Oh,
Yeah, they call it reported speech, saying so-and-so told me XYZ. So, Salman さんは卵が大好きだと言っていました。Salman さんは卵が大好きだと言っていました。
what is tamago again?
Egg.
Ah.
Sphere child.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the kanji options for tamago, tama means something that's round like a ball, and ko, kodomo. So it's literally round child. Tamago.
We eat round childs every day.
Tamago. Okay, so yeah, being able to say, so-and-so asked such and such or said such and such. And I told him such and such in return, to be able to quote back to someone what someone else said or a conversation that happened previously. Also expressing opinions or guesses with to omoimasu. So like,
So basically everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but I'm probably going to have like a little prompt card with a few different ideas listed, and then you guys can take that and converse about whichever pieces of that you want to converse about. And the level 2 people, the level 1 people rather, are going to have some interesting stuff like inviting people to go do something on a particular time, on a particular day, in a particular place. So like, レストランで寿司を食べませんか? And 明日9時半に図書館で勉強しましょうか? Or しませんか rather. You're learning the ませんか form right now and talking about time at which you're doing something or day on which you're doing something, and place at which you're doing something or place to which you're traveling. So 図書館に行きませんか? 図書館で勉強しましょうか? Or しませんか? Stuff like that. We're learning those. So, okay. So that'll probably be the other OPI piece, stuff like that. Okay, so we need to look at the next one. 勉強するのが好きですか? So this was the grammar structure that you guys had asked about last week for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So let's review. So if you want to say that you like a noun, you can just say what? So let's say you wanted to say you like sushi.
好きだ
So you can say sushi ga
好き
suki desu. Ne? Sushi ga suki desu. Okay? Now let's say you wanted to say not just that you like sushi as a thing, but that you like a particular act such as eating sushi at a restaurant.
うん
Okay. Well, that's taught in a different lesson, but this lesson's teaching it with no instead.
No. So it does the same thing.
Yeah.
食べが
Okay. So first of all, the at the restaurant part would be
レストラン。
レストラン
restaurant, right? Restaurant
に
De.
de, thank you. Restaurant de, because it's an active thing happening at a place, right? So restaurant de,
寿司を
sushi o
食べる。
食べる
食べ
のが
のお
はい、食べるのが
好きです。
好きです。Okay, remember we talked about the fact that no acts as a sort of nominalizer. It turns the preceding phrase into a noun in terms of function in the sentence, right? So this whole phrase gets turned into a noun by that little measly no, right? The whole phrase is acting like a noun in front of ga, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the way it works is you do the dictionary form of the noun,
The verb.
of the verb, yeah, sorry, not the dictionary, the short form, I should say, the short form of the verb plus no. So, レストランで寿司を食べるのが好きです。
Sure.
Okay, so you can be very specific about what it is you like. It's not just that you like sushi in general, it's that you like the specific circumstance of eating sushi in a restaurant. Maybe you hate homemade sushi, it never comes out right when you try to make it. But you love eating sushi at a restaurant. Maybe you think public sushi is gross, but you love eating it at a restaurant.
Or maybe you just don't think drinking sushi is very nice.
Well, that too. Hi.
So you could also say something like 大学でテニスをするのが好きです。
Hi, you like playing tennis, particularly at the college. Maybe you don't like the tennis court at your apartment complex because the pavement's all broken and ratty, you know, but you like playing at the college where they have a nice court. You know, so you can get very specific about what you like. Or, for example, サッカーを見るのが好きです. You like to watch soccer. Maybe you hate playing it, but you love to watch it.
Yep.
You know, so you can get specific with things. If you just say サッカーが好きです, you might get invited out to go play a game, and really what you meant to say was サッカーを見るのが好きです. That you like watching soccer, but you don't like to play. Hey,
Do we know how to say ですよ yet? ですよ?
yo, yeah, you can add yo,
Okay.
yeah. So,
It's more
yeah.
of an emphasis thing, isn't it?
Yeah, the yo is just emphasis. Yeah, so, yeah, サッカーを見るのが好きですよ. I love to watch playing soccer, and people playing soccer. You know, don't like to play it, like to watch it. You know, things like that. Okay, so now that same exact structure, 好きです is not the only thing that can go here.
嫌いです。
嫌いです works, yes, but guess what else works? 上手 and 下手. Okay, so who remembers what Jozu means?
Good now.
Skill.
Oh, this is another marker that's
It's
on
not
its
easy
last
being
legs.
green.
Alright. Alright, so Jozu and Eta. And by the way, just FYI, Jozu, Eta,
Up and down.
up hand and down hand. I don't know why, but it is. If you think about, having the upper hand at something, being better at it than other people, that's a way to help yourself remember the kanji for those. Those are not required kanji for this lesson, but they're fairly easy. The first half is review, and tet is not that hard. So I thought it might be interesting for people to see it. Jozu and heta.
Sensei,
Hi.
how would I say that I'm skilled at cooking something in particular, like
Ah.
tamago?
Okay, so
Good at big
tamago no ryori is egg cooking, like
Okay.
egg cuisine. Not just like scrambling them, but anything you might want to cook with eggs. Okay, so tamago no ryori o suru no ga jouzu desu.
So using one no,
Yeah.
Osuru?
Right,
Osuru,
so-
osuru no ga.
tamago.
Tamago no ryori.
I'm good
Or
at
actually, you could also do tamago ryori suru. I think you can do that too. Tamago o ryori suru. I think you can do that. Tamago o ryori suru. Meaning to cook tamago, although
It doesn't give a particle in the book for it to
Yeah.
cook.
I want to say tamago no ryori suru sounds better, because usually if you're talking about the actual, like, cooking something, they use a different verb, yaku, tamago yaku. But we haven't studied that verb yet, so let's stick with the verbs we've studied. So tamago no ryori suru no ga jouzu. And ryori suru or ryori o suru, I think you could make a case for either one, putting the o in or not. Tamago no ryori o suru no ga jouzu. I think it sounds better with the o in.
Okay.
But that's not the way it was taught to you in this textbook. They
So I
just
just like being
ryori suru, benkyou suru. All of those verbs that take suru, you can break them out and put an o in between there if they're not taking another direct object.
Okay, so you couldn't say tamago o ryori o.
Right. If you were going to put the o here, you would not put it here. But I don't think it sounds right here. It sounds funny to me. So, tamago no ryori o suru no ga jouzu desu. So, the cooking of eggs is something you're good at.
And that's kind of confusing because ryori is to cook.
Right. Ryori suru is to...
It
Ryori
kinda
by
makes you think that you're
itself...
cooking it twice when you have this,
Well-
you know.
Well, ryori by itself isn't to cook. Ryori suru is to cook. Ryori by itself is cuisine or cooking.
So I'm good at egg cuisine.
Yes. So ryori suru is the doing of cuisine, as in the making of cuisine. Okay, the doing of ryori, which is, so like, it's bad English to say I like to do cooking, but you will hear Japanese people say that because they're translating literally.
They know ryori means cook,
Yeah.
they know suru means do, so.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. But ryori suru is to cook. Ryori by itself as a noun phrase is cuisine or cooking. So like Nihon ryori, it's hard to say, it's Japanese cuisine. You know, Chuka ryori is Chinese cuisine. America ryori is American cuisine, whatever that is. Europa ryori Italia ryori, you can use those phrases to mean the cuisine of different regions of the world.
Kodomo wa ryori.
Child's cooking.
Child cooking,
Kids cuisine.
kids cuisine.
Ah.
How do you send it Neko?
I think you would put a no in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. 'Cause it sounds like-
Oh,
Yeah, I
that
think
could be bad.
you can leave the no out when it's like a nationality, because that's sort of a standard thing to do with that phrase, Nihon ryori, Tsuka ryori, etc. When if you put something else in there other than a nationality or a region of the world, then I think it takes a no, because it's not a common set phrase.
Okay.
So if you mean like cuisine for children to eat, to enjoy,
Like the thing with the duck on it from like the
Kids
90s.
cuisine.
Kids
right,
cuisine.
so, yeah, so kodomo no ryori would be cooking that's aimed at children, basically.
So you can leave the no off, that's just for ryori, not, like you can say nihon hon, you still need nihon hon.
Nihon no ryori is possible, but Nihon ryori is common because it's such a common set phrase. So there are certain set phrases where the no has gotten dropped out of what would normally be a phrase with no.
But it would
So
still
there's
make
no
sense
no.
if you said it. Like,
Yeah, Nihon no ryori means the cooking of Japan. Nihon ryori means Japanese cuisine. They're basically the same thing, but there's a slight difference to the feel,
Okay.
you know. But there are a few phrases where it's commonly used, like tsuka ryori is Chinese cuisine, and that's like the common everyday term in Japan for Chinese food. You know, so if you want to go to a restaurant to get Chinese food when you're in Japan, you're likely to use the term tsuka ryori. They use chuka instead of chugoku. The chu is still the kanji that we know for chugoku, and then the ka is another word that actually means something along the lines of the historically Chinese culture or the Chinese people as a group, the Han culture, the Han people, something like that. It's a kanji that we're not learning yet, so you don't have to worry about it. But chuka ryori is the common phrase for Chinese cuisine in particular. Right?
Still related to this lesson, but not quite related to this. Last Thursday when I was missed, did you do a lot of the said stuff?
Listen to the YouTube.
Yeah, okay, because I have a
It's-
question about how to put dates in there. It's like, it says in the calendar thing,
Mhm.
like C told A that he would go see a movie on the 18th. So do you just,
Did we?
Wait, what page?
I don't know that we talked about dates yet. Schedule is something that's coming up.
okay, because I was just trying to figure that out.
Okay, well, I think we're going to get to that soon. So let's do this one first. Okay, so what I was trying to get to here was to point out that besides saying sushi o taberu no ga suki desu, you can also say something or other no ga jouzu desu or heta desu. So
Are there any other ones that we know of that could fit in there?
we haven't learned tokui or nigate yet, but those are somewhat equivalent to jouzu and heta, and those would work. But skikiai and these guys are the main ones.
Okay.
Okay. Technically, other non-adjectives or other adjectives, I guess, in general could fit here. I just don't know how many of them actually would work, realistically speaking. Okay. So, anyway.
Sensei,
Hi.
I just read here at the end, they wrote, well, foods in Japan, Nihon no
Okay.
tabemono.
Hi.
Is there much of a difference between that and Nihon no
Ryori. Tabemono is a little bit more general because it encompasses all food, even if it's raw or, not cooked. Ryori really kind of implies something that you actually have to cook or prepare. Tabemono could include like a raw carrot that you just pulled out of the ground and decided to eat.
Oh, so wait,
You know.
would sushi still count as ryori?
Yeah. It's not cooked in the sense
Oh.
of
Prepares.
cooked, but it's prepared. Well, and some of it is cooked. It's not all raw.
Yeah, yeah.
So, And even like the nori that most sushi are wrapped in, the nori was prepared. It's
Right.
usually toasted or roasted, you could call it. Okay, so anyway, so let's get back to 勉強するのが好きですか? And so we're working on,
Did we skip what Mary's good at?
that's what we're working on, what Mary is good at or poor at using 上手です or 下手です.
Oh,
Okay, so for example, whose turn is it to do an example? じゃあ、どうぞ read the example for us for tennis.
メリーさんはテニスが上手です。
はい. And Joe-san, the next example.
メリさんは泳ぐのが下手です。
はい. Okay, and they're giving you the cues with whether she's good at it or bad at it right there. So, ザックさん1番.
So, メリーさんはフランス語を話します。
はい、フランス語を話すの。
話すのが下手です。
はい、そうです。じゃあ、カシさん。
Could I just use Roy or should I use Rosu?
料理する. Because the whole point of the exercise is to use the verb form.
Mary-sanは料理するのが上手です。
はい。じゃあ、アンバさん、3番。
メリーさんは寿司をつける
作る
作るのが下手です。
はい。じゃあ、ジョリーマさん、4番。
メリーさんは走ってを食べるのが上手です。
Ah, now why are you putting an O in there? 箸で食べるのが上手です right?
Didn't we just go over this?
Yeah. And if you were going to put the O in there, what would need to go with it? In this case, the name of a food that she's eating with those chopsticks, right?
So-
But if you're just saying in general, eating with chopsticks is something she's good at, you don't need the O because you don't have a direct object. You only have the by means of.
So she doesn't need chopsticks.
のが
Yeah, so hashi de, yeah, hashi are the tool by which she is eating, right? De is like by means of. So she's eating how? By means of hashi, right? As opposed to fork de, or spoon de, or knife de, or te de.
手で
Yeah, te de.
Oh.
箸で、そう、箸で食べるのが上手です、right?
I think so.
Okay, 箸で食べるのが上手です。Okay, じゃあ、サムさん、5番。
メリーさんは写真を撮るのが
とる
のが上手です。
はい。はい、じゃあ、ドライビング。ビーさん。
車を運転する。
はい
上手です。
車を運転するのが上手ですね。はい、ジョーさんは7番ですね。
メリさんは日本語を話すのが上手です。
上手です。はい。
上手です。
はい。じゃあ8番ザックさん。
Love letter. That's fun to say. Love letter. Or 書く
はい。
のが上手です。
はい、そうですね。ロブレタ
Love letter.
ラ
ラブ
ブ
レター。
Love letter.
ー。面白いですね。じゃあ次。Okay, so now you're going to ask your friend whether they like or dislike doing something. So, Zaku-san, I want you to read A and Kasi-san B, the various possibilities.
勉強するのが好きですか？
はい、好きです。大好きです。いえ、嫌いです。大嫌いです。
はい、so everybody understands what all the options are, right? じゃあ、Kasi-san、1番お願いします。
食べるのが好きですか？はい、好きです。
はい、じゃあ2番どうぞ。本田さん。
寝るのが好きですか？
はい、大好きです。
はい。じゃあ3番どうぞ。
歌うのが好きですか？
歌うのが好きですか？
Did I not say it right?
No, you got it all in there, I think.
Sounds
歌う
right to me.
いや歌うのが好きですか？はい。サンジュンさん。
うん、お、
歌うのが好きですか？
はい、好きです。
はい。じゃあどうぞ。
あ、
4番。
買い物のが好きですか？
買い物を。
買い物をするのが好きですか？
はい。There you go.
嫌いです。
はい。じゃあ5番。
スポーツをするのが好きですか？
はい、大好きです。
はい。じゃあ6番どうぞ。はい。
Would Yaru be alright on that one?
スポーツをやる。It sounds odd. やる is usually a standalone verb for doing, just doing things. Like, 今やってます。I'm doing it right now. Or, やったー I did it!
So for any of the suited combinations like
料理する、勉強する。
Stick with する。
Yeah, stick with する. Putting やる in there in its place sounds odd. And an older meaning of yaru that is not as widely used anymore, but it still exists, is it can mean to give to someone of lower status than yourself. So
Like
it's
giving
not,
something to a pet?
yeah, it's not used for humans much anymore, but inu ni eso o yaru means giving dog food to the dog.
Talk to him.
Yeah. And it's very common with pets still to say something like eso yaru, meaning to give the pet their food. You know, so it's handing to a lower status being. But it used to be much more common to use that even with humans, giving it to somebody a lot lower status than you. It's falling out of fashion to use among
I
humans.
thought the definition on there was to do or to perform.
Yeah, but when it was used for to give, it was a homophone.
Oh, okay.
And because of that, benkyou yaru sounds weird. Especially if there's another person involved, it sounds like you're doing it for them, but you're talking down to them at the same time.
You're giving studying.
It
Yeah.
still has the connotation.
It still has that feel if you pair it with a verb like that. But if you just use yaru by itself, as in, 今何やってますか? What are you doing now? 勉強してます. You know, it's normal to just use yaru as itself for doing. Make sense?
Kind of sort of in a way.
Okay. So, どうぞ. What are we up to?
僕
6番. So, studying Japanese, we would use
日本語を勉強するのが好きですか？
And I know I've heard this one last class, but I can't remember. How do you say that you don't hate it or like it?
Ah,
It's right at the bottom.
it's
Ow.
right there.
How did I not see that? Okay, ski de mo. Okay, ski de mo. Why can't I read this today? Ski de mo, kirai de mo, kirai de mo nai desu.
はい、好きでも嫌いでもないです。はい。じゃあ、どうぞ、7番。
Okay, now I just gotta remember what that is. Ah, here we go.
クリーム
掃除するのが好きですか？
はい、掃除するのが好きですか？はい、カシさん。カシさん。
7番。
7番。掃除するのが好きですか？
好きでも嫌いでもないです。
はい、いいですね。じゃあ、どうぞ、8番。
洗濯するのが好きですか？はい、好きです。
はい。じゃあ、9番は
料理するのが好きですか？
はい、大好きです。
はい。じゃあ、10番は
お風呂に入る のが好きですか？
はい、大好きです。
はい。じゃあ、11番は
運転する？
はい。
あ、車の運転する？
or 車を運転する。
車を運転するのが好きですか？
はい。
好きなくらいでもないです。
はい。じゃあ、12番。
So I use to clean.
I think
掃除
掃除する, I think would imply like vacuuming the inside of the car.
Okay.
Washing the outside, which is what I think
Giving
they
the car
mean,
back?
would be arau, arau to wash.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
one of the new
We had
ones.
that verb.
Yeah, it's in there.
Arau.
Arau.
Okay.
はい。
シャワーを浴びる。
車を洗うのが好きですか？
いえ、嫌いです。
はい。Which makes me think maybe we need to go back and do our
Wash your car.
tango drill. We've been neglecting tango no drill. So let's do it right now. そうですね。ジロジロ見ましょう。はい。じゃあ、あさって、
で、
あさって、
Day after
あ
tomorrow.
さって、
Day after tomorrow.
day after tomorrow,
あさって
day after tomorrow,
あさって
day after tomorrow.
あさって
雨、
Rain.
雨、
Rain.
雨、
Rain.
rain,
雨
rain,
雨
rain.
雨
会社員、
Office worker.
会社員、
Office worker.
会社員、
Office worker.
office worker,
会社員。会社員。
会社員。
会社員。
会社
office
員。
worker,
会社員。
カメラ、
Camera.
カメラ、
Camera.
カメラ、
Camera.
カメラ、
カメラ。
カメラ、
カメラ。
カメラ、
カメラ。
カラオケ、
Karaoke.
カラオケ、
Karaoke.
カラオケ、
Karaoke.
カラオケ、
Karaoke.
カラオケ、
Karaoke.
カラオケ、
Karaoke.
空気、
Air.
空気、
Air.
空気、
Air.
air,
空気。
air,
空気。
air,
空気。
今朝、
This morning.
今朝、
This morning.
今朝、
This morning.
this morning,
今朝。
this morning,
今朝。
this morning,
今朝。
黒板、
Blackboard.
黒板、
Blackboard.
黒板、
Blackboard.
blackboard,
黒板。
blackboard,
黒板。
blackboard,
黒板。
今月、
This month.
今月、
This month.
今月、
This month.
this month,
今月。
this month,
今月。
this month,
今月。
仕事、
Job.
仕事、
Work.
仕事、
Occupation.
occupation,
仕事。
work,
仕事。
job,
仕事。
大学生、
College student.
大学生、
College student.
大学生、
College student.
college student,
大学生。
college student,
大学生。
college student.
大学生。
I don't know why they're just doing that now. 天気予報、
Weather
天気予
forecast.
報、
Weather forecast.
天気予報、
Weather forecast.
weather forecast,
天気予報。
weather forecast,
天気予報。
weather forecast.
天気予報。
There you go. ところ、
Place.
ところ、
Place.
ところ、
Place.
place,
ところ。
place,
ところ。
place.
ところ。
トマト、
Tomato.
トマト、
Tomato.
トマト、
Tomato.
トメロ、
Tomato.
トメロ、
Tomato.
トマト。
Tomato.
Yeah, tomato.
We say tomato. They say tomato.
There you go. 夏、
Sorry.
夏、
Sorry.
夏、
Sorry.
summer,
夏。
summer,
夏。
summer.
夏。
何か、
Something.
何か、
Something.
何か、
Something.
something,
何か。
something,
何か。
something.
何か。
パーティ
Party.
ー、パーティー、
Party.
パーティー、
Party.
パーティー、
Party.
パーティー、
Party.
パーティー、
Party.
バーベキュー、
Barbecue.
バーベキュー、
Barbecue.
バーベキュー、
Barbecue.
バーベキュー、
Barbecue.
バーベキュー、
Barbecue.
バーベキュー、
Barbecue.
箸、
Chopsticks.
箸、
Chopsticks.
箸、
Chopsticks.
チャップスティックス、
Hashi.
チャップスティックス、
Hashi.
チャップスティックス、
Hashi.
冬、
Winter.
冬、
Winter.
冬、
Winter.
winter,
Fuyu.
winter,
Fuyu.
winter,
Fuyu.
homestay,
Homestay.
homestay,
Living with a local family.
homestay,
Homestay.
homestay,
Homestay.
homestay,
Homestay.
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 毎週、
Every week.
毎週、
Every week.
毎週、
Every week.
every week,
毎週。
every week,
毎週。
every week.
毎週。
来月、
Next month.
来月、
Next month.
来月、
Next month.
next month,
来月。
next month,
来月。
next month.
来月。
上手な、
Good at.
上手な、
Skillful.
上手な、
Good at.
good at,
上手な。
skillful,
上手な。
good at,
上手な。
下手な、
famous,
有名な
famous,
有名な
famous,
famous
有名な
famous
有名な
famous
有名な
雨が降る
It rains,
雨が降る
it rains,
雨が降る
it rains,
it rains
雨が降る
it rains
雨が降る
it rains
雨が降る
notice if it is raining it would be 雨が
降っ
降ってています yeah
で
okay let's see 洗う
to wash,
洗う
to wash,
洗う
to wash,
to wash
洗う
to wash
洗う
to wash
洗う
you
say,
you
say,
you
say,
to say
you,
to say
you,
to say
you,
いる
to need,
いる
to need,
いる
to need,
to need
いる
to need
いる
to need
いる
notice that is いるいります okay it is an uber okay 遅くなる 遅くなる
to be late,
遅くなる
to be late,
too late to be late
遅くな
to
る
be late
遅くな
to
る
be late
遅くなる
はい思
to think,
う思う
to think,
思う
to think,
to think
思う
to think
思う
to think
思う
and that's one of our kanji isn't it
Yep,
Yes.
はい昼
to cut,
昼
to cut,
昼
to cut,
to cut
切る
to cut
切る
to cut
切る
homophones with to wear 切る
Do not cut your shirt.
つける
To make,
つける
to make,
oh sorry 作る
School.
is to make 作る
to make,
作る
to make,
作る
to make,
to make
作る
to make
school,
to make
school,
はい持っていく
to take,
持っていく
to take,
持っていく
to take,
take
持っていく
take with you
持っていく
to take
持っていく
notice it's take with you that sense of take not take as in steal okay.
Oh,
Yeah, 持っていく means like to carry it and go someplace with it.
Does that use
持
the,
っていく
but it
It's
can't
literally-
be used for
It's
stealing?
the kanji, no, it's 持って is literally the kanji for motsu, to hold, right? And iku is the verb to
To
go.
go.
So 持っていく
Hold and go?
hold and go, 持っていく
so would it be the,
versus 持ってくる hold and come, bring, right? And 持って帰る
To
When
return
it's-
with something.
go home with it. So take it home with you. 持っていく。はい。
it's not in the book, but would that use the kanji for iku?
It can.
Mm.
Yeah. 持っていく、持ってくる、持って帰る are all using that two verb compound structure. Okay. And 遅くなる、遅い is the lateness
What is this next?
遅い
adjective, and 遅くなる is actually an adjective noun, an adjective verb compound, 遅くなる. Okay, getting to the next one. So after 持っていく, we've got じろじろ見る.
To stare at.
じろじろ見る.
To stare at.
じろじろ見る.
To stare at.
To stare at.
じろじろ見る.
To stare at.
じろじろ見る.
To stare at.
じろじろ見る.
And this is what they call onomatopoeia.
Let's say it sounds like one.
Yeah. 捨てる,
Throw away.
捨てる.
Throw away.
捨てる.
Throw away.
Throw away,
Stare.
throw away.
Stare.
Throw away.
Stare.
始める.
To begin.
始める.
To begin.
始める.
To begin.
To begin.
始める.
To begin.
始める.
始めまして。
始める.
There you go. 始めまして. Remember that
始め
word?
まして.
Beginning a new relationship.
Yep.
始める. It begins. Okay, to begin something.
Yes.
So, 始めます. 始めまして. You know, you're starting something new. 始める. Okay. 運転する.
Drive.
運転する.
Drive.
運転する.
Drive.
Drive.
運転する.
To drive.
運転する.
To drive.
運転する.
洗濯する.
To do laundry.
洗濯する.
To do laundry.
洗濯する.
To do laundry.
To do laundry.
洗濯する.
To do laundry.
洗濯する.
To do laundry.
洗濯する.
掃除する.
To clean.
掃除する.
To clean.
掃除する.
To clean.
To clean.
掃除する.
To clean.
掃除する.
To clean.
掃除する.
電話する.
To call.
電話する.
To call.
電話する.
To call.
To call.
電話する.
To call.
電話する.
To call.
電話する.
料理する.
To cook.
料理する
To cook.
料理する
To cook.
to cook
料理する。
to cook
料理する。
to cook
料理する。
いつも
Always.
いつも
Always.
いつも
Always.
always
いつも
always
いつも
always
いつも。
うんうん
Uh-uh.
うんうん
No.
うんうん
No.
no
Mm.
nuh-uh no うん
Yeah.
うん
Uh-huh.
うん
Yeah.
yes
Mm.
yeah
Mm.
it's just mm
Mm.
yeah
That's what I was saying.
uh-huh
Mm.
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 It's not a grunt, it's just
Mm.
Kampai,
Cheers.
kampai,
A toast.
kampai,
Cheers.
cheers,
Kanpai.
cheers.
Kanpai.
Bottoms up.
Kanpai.
That's actually closer to the literal meaning. It's literally dry glass. As in you drank it. Kampai. Okay, zannen desu ne.
That's too bad.
Zannen.
That's too bad.
Zannen desu ne.
That's too bad.
That's too bad.
Zanen.
That's too bad.
Zanen desu ne.
That's too bad.
Zanen.
残念。はい。blank について。
Concerning.
blank について。
About
blank について。
concerning.
So for example, 日本について regarding Japan. You might say 日本について興味があります。I have an interest in Japan.
What was that last part?
興味がある。興味がある is a phrase.
That's a new one.
あ、興味がある。I'm not sure when they introduced this phrase, but
I don't think they've introduced it at all.
yeah, it comes up later in the textbook somewhere, but 興味がある means to have an interest in something. So 日本について興味があります would be I have an interest in Japan. Or 料理について興味があります I have an interest in cooking. You know, you can put a noun について and you have an interest you know, concerning that, or you like something concerning that, or, you know, 日本について話しましょう Let's talk about Japan. You know, or, you know, 旅行について話しましょう Let's talk about travel, you know, or whatever it might be. So that's について. Okay, まだ with a negative.
Not yet.
まだ
Not yet.
For example, まだしていません I haven't done it yet. Okay? まだ with a negative. まだわからない I don't understand
Understand it
yet.
yet.
Okay, so not yet.
Made tabenai?
まだ not yet. まだ So まだ食べていません would be I have not eaten yet. まだ食べません would be I'm not going to eat yet. The teimasu versus the mas form.
Oh, so
Have
wait,
different
not short form,
translations.
not short forms in this.
Well, either one. Yeah, mada tabenai would be I'm not going to eat yet. Mada
Okay.
kabete inai would be I have not eaten yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, okay, and then minna de, all together.
All together.
Everyone.
All
Minna
together.
de.
now.
All together now. Minna de. Okay. And then all together.
Minna de.
All the people together.
Minna de.
All the people together.
Minna de.
Minna de. Notice that minna is always about people, not things. So if you mean all the things together, that would be zenbu de. Zenbu de would be all the stuff, but minna de would be all the people.
What? Okay, silly question. What if you were trying to rally an army of dogs?
Less silly.
No idea.
Less
Hi.
silly. How would you combine the two forms they taught us in this grammar thing to say I thought they said? Like if you misheard somebody and like
Yeah.
somebody says kamara and somebody said dameda, so you duck. No, like, why'd you duck? And you duck,
Dameda?
and then you duck or something, and then what did you do that for? And you want to say I thought you said
Okay, so
dameda.
Dameda means duck.
no, dameda is like it's bad, it's wrong, it's no good. Like work out, watch out, it's not good.
Oh.
You know,
Okay.
dame. You know, my host mom used to do this. Dame. Just in case I wasn't getting the message, she used hand signs. So let's just use your example. So, dame da to itte da to okay, you need past tenses for that kind of thing. I thought he said such and such.
Okay.
It just doesn't work in the present tense, right? You know,
I will think that he
I
said.
I thought
think,
they're going to say?
I think he is saying, I suppose is possible.
What about, I think
Yeah,
they're going to
if you're,
say?
if you're trying to play translator, I think he is saying so and so. Okay, so I guess for now, because we haven't let's just keep it present tense for now. Let's assume that you're trying to translate for your friend, but you're not entirely sure what the person is saying. ダメだと言っていると思います would be, I think he's saying ダメだ
Wait, told what again?
と言っていると思います。
And for the first example, you could just stick the other to omoimasu around the end and to omoimashita for to.
Yeah, you can change the tenses of these, but we haven't done the short form past tenses yet. That's next chapter.
That's a tongue twister.
What?
That's a tongue twister. To itte itta to omoimashita.
と
Itte itta.
と言っていると思う。Yeah, と言っていると思う。Yeah, so that's how you would string them together if you really wanted to. I think he's saying X.
Okay, I didn't know you could just stick it on the end. I didn't know if there was a different structure, but that's
Yeah.
useful. Because I
Yeah.
think that's something you'd say commonly, as I thought you said, instead of something else.
That's possible.
Pretty
Yeah.
common, actually.
Yeah, it's possible. So, okay. So, does everybody feel like they remember their vocabulary a little better now that we have a refresher?
Yeah.
Yes.
A little bit.
Okay. So, let's look at 誰がイギリス人ですか? Using the table below, we're going to try to answer questions about who is what.
Oh,
Okay, so this is that usage of ga in open-ended questions and answering those kind of questions.
so wait, we're doing part A and 7?
はい.
Okay.
Okay, and let's see. Who did washing a car?
Me.
You asked the question and Joe answered it, right? So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
You said kiritis, so. So it's Joe's turn to ask the question. So for the example, Joe-san to Daka-san.
誰がイギリス人ですか？
ロバートさんがイギリス人です。
はい。じゃあ、1番質問をどうぞ。
Okay. 誰が、韓国人ですか？
スーさんは韓国人です。
はい、スーさんが韓国人ですね。じゃあ、2番、星さん。
誰が料理をするのが上手ですか？ナリさんです。
そうですか？料理をするのが上手です。Good at cooking.
Oh.
So, chart there. 誰が料理をするのが上手ですか？
ロバートさんです。
はい、ロバートさんが上手ですね。
ロバートさんが上手ですね。
はい。はい。じゃあ次の質問。4番お願いします。
3番。
あ、3番ごめんなさい。
誰がいつ
食堂
食堂でた
食堂で
で
食べますか？
食べます
はい
ごめん
ねみんないつも食堂で食べますか？
Who's good at eating homework?
てかしさんはいつも食堂で食べます。
はい、食堂 is dining hall.
Oh!
So always
I
in
was-
the cafeteria. 食堂で食べます。
I heard shukudai.
食堂
誰がデートをしますか？
デートをしましたか？
しましたか？
たけしさんはデートをします
はい、たけしさんと
と、とデートをしました
たけしさんと
お
メアリーさん
メアリーさん
が
Does it specify?
It says right there,
On the
both
chart.
names on the chart.
お
Yeah, it says.
たけしさんとメアリー
Oh,
さ
I see, I see.
んメアリーさん
はい、たけしさんとメアリーさんが
が
デートをしました
デートを。します
いいですか？じゃあ次。
誰が犬が好きですか
メリーさんは犬が好きです。
はい
メアリーさん
はい、メアリーさんが好きですね。はい。じゃあ、does everybody feel like they understand how to ask and answer questions with 誰が?
Yeah, who
Yeah.
something something.
Yeah.
Who is this?
So, on the OPI, will you feel comfortable coming up with a question like that and asking somebody about some stuff?
Would we fill out like this sheet or something where we put out all the stuff? Like all the information?
It gets harder when there's no, like, when you're looking at a chart like this, it's pretty simple.
Okay,
But
but
I think it's more
difficult if you don't have a chart.
to just try to make up stuff. Yeah, because I feel like I'll default to the same two things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
how,
we should fill out a chart just to make things a bit more interesting. We should fill out a chart about some information.
okay, and then use that as like the prompt for that part of the OPI maybe?
I'm not going to do that part, but I think just a chart, even if we just use this one.
Yeah, so just
Yeah.
to work off of some kind of a basic chart with some information in it. So like, so using this chart, how would you go ahead and, pick a question that you would want to ask, preferably one that wasn't already answered about somebody.
誰がアメリカ人ですか?
Hi, okay.
メリーさんがアメリカ人です。
Hi, okay. Can we keep it going and maybe ask questions about the rest of the information that hasn't been covered yet? ジョーさんどうぞ。
誰が歌う
歌を。
歌を
はい。
I'm trying to think who's good at that.
はい。誰が
誰が
歌うのが
歌うのが
上
上
手。
手ですか?
はい。
スーさんは、歌うのが上手です。
はい、そうですね。じゃあ、ザックさん、can you come up with another different question?
誰が、猫が大嫌いです。
か。
ですか、
い
大嫌いですか?
はい。ガシさん。
ロバートさんとタクシーさんは猫が嫌いです。
はい。ロバートさんとたけしさんは猫が嫌いですね。
So the two guys are fine, right?
Yes, two guys are fine. Okay. じゃあ、カシさん、come up with another question maybe?
誰が時々料理しますか？
はい。
スーさんは時々料理します。
はい。時々料理します。はい。はい。じゃあ、もう一回。どうぞ。 let's see, we haven't covered Japanese person yet, or going to Tokyo last weekend, or going to Okinawa last weekend.
誰が日本人ですか
Oh, it was Amber's turn to ask the question,
Oh.
wasn't it?
誰が沖縄を来ましたか
Darega. Okay, first of all, last weekend would be
先週
Sen
選手
Shu
に
No, wait, no.
weekend, not last week. Last weekend, so
Sen
Senshu Matsu,
先週末あ
and then ni is optional. Actually,
Oh, we haven't done that before. We've
We
been
haven't
saying
done-
Senshu no Shumatsu.
oh, okay.
Oh.
Senshu no Shumatsu works too.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, Senshu Matsu is like a shorthand for our version, but you can do Senshu no Shumatsu. That works.
春季の夏
I stood for 先週末
Okay, so Senshu no Shumatsu. Okinawa.
沖縄どうします
Okinawa
に行きます
ni
行きました。
ikimashita, right?
か。誰が
Okay, so we've got darega, right? Darega senshu no shumatsu Okinawa ni ikimashita. Yeah, you can use, I think the ni kind of is optional here because the
feels like it should
shumatsu
be.
makes it sound like ni
needs to be?
could be there, but because it's senshu,
It's not
it's
specific
it's
enough.
not that specific, it's relative. So 誰が先週の週末沖縄に行きましたか?
Could you put a wall there? Or is that weird?
That's weird too because the
Wow.
誰が is already in front. If you 先週の週末は誰が沖縄に行きましたか? That might be a little bit more natural sounding, but it still sounds odd to put a wa there. Okay. So anyway, so that was the question, right? もう一度どうぞ。
誰が先週の週末沖縄に行きましたか
行きましたか? And then the answer would be 鳥山さん
Are we meditating? Roberto-san, yes, actually I was. I was completely somewhere else.
So you're going to replace the dare with the person's name, right?
Roberto-san ga
Lobato-san, right? Lobato-san ga,
yeah. Shumatsu Okinawa ni ikimashita.
はい。はい。ロバートさんが先週の週末、沖縄に行きました。はい。いいですね。じゃあ、one of the last couple of questions available, どうぞ。
Is it skiing? Do we still have
Skiing, yes, we haven't done skiing yet. Very good.
誰がskiing
スキーをする。
スキーをする
はい。
のが上手ですか
はい。誰がスキーをするのが上手ですか？
メリーさんがスキーのする
スキーをす
ス
る。
キーをする
or just スキーする。I guess スキーする
スキ
would
ーす
work
る
の
の
が
が
上手
上手です。
です。はい。メアリーさんはスキーするのが上手です。
It seems to make more sense that way in this
スキーす
form
る
than with the
スキーする
the way
スキ
we're
ーす
doing
る
it.
のが好きです。
はい。
上手です。
スキーする。Yeah. So スキー、sorry, スキー like that. スキーする。スキーする。スキーするのが上手です。
Last question.
はい。Okay.
誰が
誰が
週末東京 Oh, is it your turn? Sorry.
誰が
Last name.
誰が先週の週末、東京 に行きましたか。
い
うん。
スーさんが先週の週末東京に行きました。
はい。Okay. So there were still a couple of pieces that we didn't get to, but I think that's good enough. I think everybody got at least one turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so does everybody feel like they can make sentences about that chart now? Because I may just take that exact chart and use it. Okay, so that's page.
I feel like everybody's going to avoid the went to had the call.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
ねりさんと
it's the
たけし
hardest
さん
to say.
Okay.
It's a real mouthful.
Okay, let's look at 何もしませんでした.
何もします。
Okay, so 何か and 何も are one of the new
Animo.
things in this chapter, right? 何か and 何も. So let's talk about those. Is this the first time we've had mo in this context? 何か and 何も?
I think
Pretty sure.
They touched on it in the grammar what it does, but I don't think we've seen it used yet.
Okay.
We know nanika is something from
We have
the
the kanji.
vocabulary.
We have
Right.
the kanji for nani.
Okay. Oh, we have the kanji for 何 now? Okay.
Yeah.
good.
Nani?
I forgot that, yeah.
It's unofficial. It's been unofficial for all this time, but
Yeah, now we finally have it. Okay, so 何か. So in this, let's see, they're doing past tense, right? So 何か, let's just use します for now. So 何かしましたか? Did you do anything? Okay, so this is like the question. And then for the answer, you can do negative or you can do positive.
So
Okay,
何も
何かしましたか? So for example, 先週の週末、何かしましたか? Last weekend, did you do something? Did you do anything in particular? 何もしませんでした? No, nothing.
Did you say
Okay.
that?
Oh, so it's not-
Or, and this is a little bit weird, but 何かしました. Let's say you're just a very secretive type of person and you don't want to tell
Yes.
what
I
it was
did
you
something.
did. You did something. 何かしました. Okay? So normally, when you're talking about answering the question, you're not going to hear this one used all that much.
So
Either
would
somebody
you?
will just say 何もしませんでした, or they'll tell you what they actually did,
So
right?
it would be taberu shimashita, or something like that. Like I
Nani-
ate. Like I
Nani-
ate something.
Yeah, you would just say 食べました, or 何か食べました, I ate something.
Ah.
Okay, but that's an example of where this positive one might be more commonly used. 何か食べました, I ate something. Okay, you don't necessarily feel like explicitly stating what it was that you ate, but you ate something. Okay, or maybe you're talking about somebody else, you don't know specifically what your friend ate, you just know that he ate something. 何か食べました
Can you also use the nani mo in the positive? I guess if you're
No,
example.
何も is negative.
So 何も
何も
it doesn't mean I
食べません。
also did that or something.
No, in this usage, mo is used with a negative to say that I didn't do any of whatever it is.
Okay.
Okay, and ka is the something kind of thing. So 何か食べましたか? Did you eat something? はい、食べました. Yeah, I ate something. Or 何か食べました. Some person ate something. 何も食べませんでした. Didn't eat a thing. Okay, do you see the difference? So I sometimes like to translate the 何か part as something and the 何も as anything, just to differentiate between the two forms in Japanese so that it's less confusing. Because in English, you might normally translate it as, did you eat anything? No, I didn't eat anything, or yes, I ate something. But in Japanese, the question and the positive answer are the two that are the same. So to try not to have that confusion, I would translate this one as, did you eat something, or did you do something, or did you sing something, or whatever verb you want to use, and yes, I said something or did something, or no, I didn't do it at all. Didn't do anything.
Would nande monai be applicable in this situation or this usage?
Not usually. That's like a different structure. Nandemonai is more like,
No problem.
yeah, sometimes it's like, sumimasen, nandemonai, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Or, you know, wow, 上手ですね, nandemonai, that's nothing. Yeah. But 何もしなかった、しませんでした is the structure that we're using here with 何かしましたか、いいえ、何もしませんでした. Or, you know, you could say, for example, on a particular date, like 7月4日に何かしましたか? Did you do something for July 4th? On July 4th?
So
Yeah.
it doesn't.
いえ、何もしませんでした. No, nothing special. You know.
Am I the only one who's thinking of an interrogation now? Where were you on July 4th?
It's not that kind of a question. 何かしましたか? Did you do something? You know, usually it's like asking about, you know, on your vacation time or, you know, last Saturday or some other time like that.
So would you say nanika hanabi omimashita?
Not really. Nanika is more open-ended than that. So nanika shimashita ka, and then you could answer with hanabi o mimashita.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this answer can be specific. This is a very broad, open-ended question. Did you do anything for 4th of July?
I guess
Nanika
answering,
shimashita ka? And then the person answering can say, you know, parade o mimashita, or hanabi o mimashita, or eido o mimashita, watched a movie, or tomodachi to bangohan o tabemashita, or barbecue o shimashita, or umi ni ikimashita, or whatever.
I guess it's just confusing how I'm kind of answering with what.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, nanika shimashita ka? Did you do anything? Right? And it's so broad, it's so open-ended that you can answer with whatever activity you actually did.
Doesn't Mo do that to almost any question?
Daremo. Yeah, sort of. Daremo. Dareka kimashita ka? Did anyone come? Did someone come? Dareka kimashita ka? Iie, daremo kimasen deshita. No, not a single person showed up.
Or like even
You know.
the word we learned, itsu, when, and then
Itsumo, yeah.
It's always, right?
Itsumo shimashita ka? That's a weird one because itsumo by itself means always. So, itsuka ikimasu ka? Are you going to go someday? Hai, itsuka ikimasu. Yes, but itsumo ikimasen?
I don't
I'll never,
always
yeah,
do
that
this.
doesn't weird. That sounds too weird. But itsuka gets used for the question like itsuka Nihon ni ikitai desu. Someday I want to go to Japan. Itsuka Nihongo o benkyou shimasu ka? Are you going to study Japanese at some point? Hai, itsuka benkyou shimasu. Yeah, someday I'm going to study it. Hai.
So if I were to say that I went to the library but I didn't study, I would say Toshokan ni ikimashita ga nani mo benkyou shimasen deshita.
That works, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
This is still really confusing.
Okay.
So confusing.
Okay, so should we try some more and see if we can clear it up a little bit? Alright, okay. So let's look at their example. Whose turn was it to read?
I
Joel-san?
totally lost track.
Yeah,
Wait,
Zach and then Joe, I think. So Zach-san, 読んでください.
The example?
Yeah.
Alright. パーティーに行きましたか?
Okay, this is actually doing 行きましたが Okay, so they're saying, I went to the party, but 何も食べませんでした. So you went to the party, but you didn't eat a thing. Don't know why, you shouldn't be on a diet. Okay, maybe there was nothing there you liked, so you didn't eat any of it.
You have to picky.
Right.
Or you just
Okay.
already ate before you went there.
Right, okay, so ジョーさん1番お願いします。
パーティーに行きましたが、何も飲みませんでした。
飲み
飲みませんでした。
はい、何も飲みませんでした。We're back to just the
Yeah.
past negative, the normal form that you guys learned a long time ago.
It's
Okay?
getting hard to remember how to
Hi.
flip the forms and stuff.
はい、パーティーに行きましたが、何も飲みませんでした。はい、じゃあザックさん2番。
カラオケがありましたか？ありましたが、ありましたが、何も歌いませんでした。
歌い
ませんでした。
はい、歌いませんでした。はい。They had a karaoke machine, but I didn't sing a lick. Okay? Not even a little bit. Okay, じゃあ3番、カシ
It's
さ
not
ん。
a character for me.
パーティーがありましたが、何もいませんでした。
はい。何も見ませんでした。Right? テレビがありましたが、何も見ませんでした。So, there was a TV there, but I didn't watch it at all, is what that's saying. Okay? Didn't watch a single thing. はい。じゃあ4番、アンバーさん。
カメラを持っていましたが、
はい。
何も撮りませんでした。
There you go. カメラを持っていましたが、何も撮りませんでした。
I brought a camera,
So-
but I didn't take any pictures.
Right. はい
It。was
じ
out
ゃ
of
あ
film.
5番、鳥山さん。
ユミさんに会いましたが、何も話しませんでした。
There you go. ユミさんに会いましたが、何も話しませんでした。So you saw your friend Yumi, but you didn't talk to her at all. はい。じゃあ、サンドンさん、6
Wait,
番。
does it necessarily mean that you arranged to meet her,
No.
or just managed to like? see
She
her
was
in
at the
passing?
party, you were at the party, you guys saw each other, maybe you know, were face to face, but you didn't actually talk about anything important. It might mean that you actually did say hi to each other and then just kept going, but you didn't talk about anything real.
The same thing in English, we say that.
Yeah, I didn't talk to her at all could mean, yeah, we said hi, but we didn't get, we didn't get to talk about anything meaningful, right? Yeah, 6番。
パーティーに行きましたが、何もしませんでした。
There you go. 何もしませんでした。Went to the party, but didn't do a single thing there. Okay? It was a boring party. Didn't do anything.
So
I was playing a living statue.
it's basically just anything we didn't do, or I didn't do.
Yeah.
Okay. Or
Okay?
as
So
for
do
anything I
you
didn't do.
understand a little bit better after applying it how this can work?
Alright.
Alright, let's try part B and hopefully that'll help to reinforce it.
What about nanika? Is that we're not using nanika yet? That's
That's the next exercise.
oh. So
Okay, so let's look at the next exercise and it will demonstrate for us, won't it? Okay, so 3-3 Q, BG-3 A. お願いします。
昨日の晩ご飯は何か作りましたか？
作り
作りましたか？
はい、スパゲッティを作りました。
or
いいえ、何も作りませんでした。
there you go. So now you see what I was showing you on the board before, right? So you can do 何か作りましたか? Did you make something? Right? And then you can answer with はい and the thing that you made.
But you can't say 何も作りませんor 作りました。
Right.
You can't say
No, 何も implies negative, so you have to use it with the negative. 何も作りませんでした. Not a thing. Okay. じゃあ、1番、BZ さんとジョーさん。
今朝何か食べましたか？
いえ、何も食べませんでした。
はい。じゃあ2番どうぞ。
昨日何か買いましたか？
買いましたか？
買いましたか？
That means shopping, right? Alright.
何か買いましたか? Did you buy anything? It didn't say 買い物をしましたか? It just said
Oh.
買いまし何か買いましたか? So did you buy anything?
Oh, okay. Kaban o kaimashita?
はい。はい、that works. はい、カバンを買いました。So there's just a slight difference. 何か買いましたか would be just did you buy something versus 何か買い物をしましたか is more like did you do any shopping? So-
Okay.
One implies maybe just buying one thing and you go home again.
Whereas
買い
the
物を
other...
しました sounds like you spent hours in the mall going from shop to shop.
Okay.
Okay? Or even just going to the supermarket and buying a bunch of stuff, not just like one thing and out the door. Okay? じゃあどうぞ次。
昨日テレビを
テレビ
No, テレビで Why am I reading it wrong? 昨日テレビで何か見ましたか？
いえ、何も見ませんでした。
はい、いいですね。じゃあ4番どうぞ。
今何かいりますか？いえ、何もいりませんでした。
Actually, since
need
the
anything
question
right now?
is in the present tense, 何かいりますか? So,
Do you need any?
いいえ、何もいりません。
いりません。
You want to match your tense to the tense of the question, right? She's asking, do you need anything right now? No, I'm fine. I don't need anything. いいえ、何もいりません。Right? So that would be like, to put it in context, maybe a situation like you're a guest in your friend's house and you've already sat down and had the tea and the cookies and she's helped get the bedding ready for when you're going to sleep there that night, and so you're just sitting on the couch hanging out and talking. 何かいりますか? Do you need anything else? いいえ、何もいりません. No, I'm fine. I've got everything I need. I had my cookies, I had my drink. You already put the bedding out for me. It's not time for bath yet, so we can just sit here and chat. Does that help to put it in perspective a little bit? Okay. Okay, じゃあどうぞ次。週末、はい。
週末何かしますか？
So again, this is future tense, right? 週末, this coming weekend. 何かしますか? Are you going to do something?
はい、週末に勉強します。
はい
します。
はい。週末に勉強します。That works.
週末何か勉強しますか？
So, if I were to answer with nanika, like it would just be like nanika shimasen.
何も勉強しません would be I'm not going to study anything. 何か勉強します would be
Okay,
positive.
so it's positive versus
Yeah,
negative.
ka
Okay.
is with the
Okay.
positive, mo is with the negative.
Okay. So nani mo benkyou shimasen.
Right? So you're not planning to study. Okay? Makes sense? And if you want to say, yes, I'm going to study something, but you're not sure what you're going to study yet, maybe you've got 5 classes you're taking and you haven't
Yeah.
decided yet what you're actually going to spend your weekend doing because you don't know yet what the homework's going to be. So you could say, 何か勉強します. I'm going to study something, I just don't know what yet. はい.
So then what's the word for everything in the positive? Like, if you were going to say
全部.
zenbu. So
Yeah.
like if you were asking me, are you going to study for the test, but we don't really know what the test is on, I'm just going to say I'm going to study everything.
Okay, yeah, so 全部勉強します.
Okay.
I'm going to study all of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Zenbu is,
So zenbu is like a positive noun.
Zenbu, yeah. Zenbu. Zenbu. whole thing, all the parts. This zen means all, and this bu means parts. So it's like all the parts, zen bu. Yeah, as opposed to minna, which is all the people. I think it's a single kanji, not a compound, but it just means all the humans, not other.
So if somebody were to ask you, say, let's see, what is there something you want to do this weekend, or what do you want to do this weekend? Would they say, nani ka shimasen ka, or something?
You could, sure, nanika shimasen ka? Shall we do something this weekend? Kono shumatsu, or konshumatsu, nanika shimasen ka? Or nanika shimashou ka? Any of those invitation forms work.
Okay, and in
Yeah.
response, like if they were to say no and give a reason, you'd say, nani ka shimasen.
No, nani mo shimasen.
Nani mo shimasen. Binkyou shimash.
Okay, nani mo shimasen, benkyou shimasu kara, or
Benkyou
testu ga arimasu kara. Yeah,
Now I have a test.
yeah.
Binkyou shimashite. Testu.
No, testu ga arimasu kara,
Hmm.
takusan benkyou shimasu, or something like that. Yeah, so nani mo shimasen, I can't do anything with you this weekend. Testu ga arimasu kara, takusan benkyou shimasu. There's a test, therefore I'm going to study a lot.
Why couldn't you say like binkyou shimashite,
Benkyou shite,
binkyou shite, testu.
Be- oh, testu ga arimasu kara benkyou shimasu. Or benkyou shimasu, period. Testu ga arimasu kara.
You can't do like the
The te form doesn't mean therefore.
okay.
The te form means and,
But if
like
you
in a
add kara-
sequence. But you can't do te and kara
Okay.
together. They don't fit.
All right.
Yeah. So it's either benkyou shite, testu shimasu. Like I'm going to study and then take the test. Or testu ga arimasu kara benkyou shimasu. There's going to be a test, therefore I'm going to study.
Oh.
So you can say the sequence that you're going to study first and then take the test. But if you want to say that you're going to study because of the test, you can't use the te form anymore. You have to switch over to the mas form plus kara.
Okay.
Make sense? So one is a sequence of events, the other is a cause and effect, but they're two entirely different grammar structures that don't mesh. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
None of it makes sense anymore. None of it.
Aww.
Not anymore.
何もわかりません。大変ですね。残念ですね。That's one of your new vocab, right? 残念ですね。That's terrible.
That's too bad.
That's too bad.
Sounds so sarcastic. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I believe that was her intention.
World's
Quite
tiniest
violent. Nice Sally.
Oh gosh. So let's look at matome no renshu. I think we have time for a little bit more.
Yep.
Okay, so interview one of your classmates about any future plans and report to the class. Okay, so that's like classic
Freefold.
OPI fodder right there for us to maybe maybe do this activity in class, talking about what different people have to say, type some stuff up, and then feed it back to you as a chart on the OPI for you guys to tell me what so-and-so told you.
Well, you're just having a grand old time with this test. Every other word is, I think this one will be good on the test too. And
Well,
yeah, this
I'm
one too.
I'm trying to make this as practical as possible. As practical, you guys want to actually speak this, right? You want to
Yeah.
actually be able to use this language. That's the plan, right? That's the goal. That's what the OPI is supposed to be all about, getting you from practice to practical application so that when you get to Japan, you've actually had the experience of using the language to convey real information that somebody else doesn't necessarily know. Right?
Kind of the whole idea.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So I think this, this might be something that we ought to do, like the interview part, and then on Thursday,